What's up, so Truth Team? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, SC's number one urban blogger and the queen of paperwork. I've been seeing some of the Vlad clips drop of Hernandez Govan, and I'm just like, oh, that's what type of time you on, okay? Now, if y'all have not heard, y'all should have by now, Hernandez Govan has been found not guilty of state charges of conspiracy to commit murder and first-degree murder, okay? And heavy on the emphasis of state, okay? Because we all have the conversation about Fed's gonna take it, Fed's gonna take it, Fed's gonna take it. I mean, is it worth it? I mean, to be honest, is it worth it? You know, I feel like the ongoing investigation that the state prosecutor said could be a deeper situation. I just don't feel like it per se has something to do with Dolph murder. That's just me. However, is multiple ways to skin a cat, okay? And we're gonna react to Music 101 video in regards to Hernandez Govan's Vlad interview. Sheesh, it's Monday morning, like literally 6 a.m. 6:09, okay, a.m. So I'm just like, wow. And let's just get into the reaction.
We had Mickey Truth.
Who is this? You got Mickey Truth kicked out.
Shout out Mickey.
Let's get one thing clear. This your girl, Mickey Truth.
Hernandez Govan house about killing young Dolph. Well, on Vlad TV, Hernandez Govan just admitted that him and Big Juke did have a meeting, but it was regarding Straight Drop.
You were actually working with Straight Drop to try to sign him to CMG.
I was.
And some interactions happened at your house. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. I was basically trying to put the deal together for Straight Drop. I reached out to Juke and asked him to come by and check the material out. And that's how it started.
Okay, so Juke is at your house. Is Straight Drop at your house also?
Correct.
Okay, and you guys are talking about potentially a deal with CM.
All right, so pause, okay? So we have Hernandez Govan openly admitting now that he was the one to introduce Straight Drop to Juke. However, the prosecution in his case definitely was off. Because remember, according to their timeline, based off of the evidence they had, phone records and stuff, Straight Drop and Juke wasn't introduced until July 27th, 2021 at Juke's actual smoke shop. But according to Govan, hey, the meetings was at his house. Now, I have my theory to where the tie-in was loose on the trial, but hey, let's continue for a minute.
MG.
Yes. We were basically at my house. Juke was telling us how to promote the music, how to get Justin the type of buzz that was needed to actually sign to the label. Just all music business, you know, just giving us the, you know, the inside and out about how to, you know, move this thing forward as fast as we could.
Okay. But then at one point, Cornelia Smith showed up at the house as well.
Correct. So on this particular night when we were having the music meeting, it was a knock at the door. And I went to the door and it was Cornelius. And I was under the impression that he just wanted some X pills or whatever like he normally did. So I told him to come back later. I was trying to get a deal signed for Drop. And he was like, no, it's important. So I stepped outside and that's when he mentioned to me, he was like, man, they ain't trying to do nothing about Dolph trying to kill Gotti. So at that point, I never heard of that incident. You know, I heard of it, if you reverse it, I done heard of it that way, you know, the attempted hits on Dolph, but at that point.
All right. So now he's saying that he was aware of hits on Dolph from Yo Gotti way. I mean, is that what y'all took from that, right? He also now is saying that Cornelia Smith wanted in on it. Now, if we go off the timeline from trial, we know, according to Cornelia Smith, when he got introduced to Juke in regards to the hits, it was after the Paper Route Wu shooting. So after August 13th, according to the timeline, is when Cornelia Smith meets Juke. We know that the smoke shop meeting or alleged meeting was July 27th, the day before the first shooting of Paper Route Wu with Straight Drop. So I feel like if we're going to go off what Govan Hernandez says now, right? He said that it was all music. Would make sense. You know, Straight Drop was shooting his videos at Govan's house. Things like that. That was his connect to Music Plug. However, did Ham actually tap in Straight Drop with Juke on some hitter stuff? Because now that we hear that Hernandez, Govan, Straight Drop, and Juke had all met prior to July 27th, but Juke doesn't put Straight Drop number into his phone until July 27th, made me feel like the conversation, okay, when he got tapped in that day through Ham, because in my belief it was Ham. It was like how Ham go from, yeah, I'm talking to Juke, and 30 minutes later you're in Juke's phone as a contact. So I feel like on the street stuff, I feel like Ham was the introduction to Juke. I feel like it was time to get the business, you know, as far as Straight Drop. Now, according to, again, Cornelia Smith, he ain't tap in until after the shooting on Paper Route Wu. Because remember, he said, yeah, he was like, yeah, this little C I was telling you about that was on that Paper Route Wu thing. So it's definitely like some gaps in the state story. So that's why I'm like, for Hernandez Govan, although he's putting emphasis on music, now we already saw the IG message where Cornelia Smith was saying, oh, Juke, this you know, Govan people's hit me up on that music stuff. And the state already said, hey, that's key word for something else. So putting emphasis on music is crazy. But it seemed like he's putting the pieces of the conspiracy together better than they did at trial. But hey, let's keep going.
I hadn't heard anything about someone trying to do anything to Gotti.
Hold on. First off, if you have no ties to Yo Gotti, like you said in the prior interview, why is Cornelia Smith coming to you asking you, is y'all gonna do something about Dolph trying to kill Yo Gotti? But then the thing that caught my attention, he said, I never heard about Dolph trying to kill Yo Gotti. I heard it reverse. So if you reverse it, that means you heard of Yo Gotti trying to kill Dolph. But then he cleared it up a little bit and said, I heard about the attempts on Dolph's life. Like, do y'all think Hernandez Govan is out here on tour doing these interviews trying to implicate Yo Gotti and bring a Rico? Or do y'all think he just talking too much? Get in the
well, I'll say this. He can't implicate Yo Gotti without implicating himself. So at the end of the day, like I said, it never was confirmed at trial. It was only alleged through street gossip when it came up that Hernandez Govan was an informant. So the only way he trying to tie up a Rico now is if they don't put him on a assignment, right? You know, that's the only way, because I mean, you can't say what you heard, because how you heard it. You got Juke in your house doing business meetings at your house. So I mean, it will tie you more into it. But hey, let's keep going.
comments and let me know.
And I told him that wasn't my business, and I wasn't finna go back in and mention something to Juke that he hadn't said anything to me about. And so I just left it at that.
I'm not gonna lie. Putting him, Straight Drop, and Big Juke in the same room, saying a meeting took place, is crazy to me, knowing the feds can pick the case up any day. But he did say it was regarding Straight Drop music career. But Cornelia Smith says otherwise. Who do you believe? Like, comment, subscribe.
Shout out to music. Yeah, I mean, the fans could have still been investigating it. Like I said, at the end of the day, I don't think Young Dolph murder will be a federal case. Anything ever comes about, I feel like it'll be added to a federal case. Hey, his attorney was there, you know, so obviously he was cool with the answers he provided. But it's just crazy to like correct the timeline for the police. Like, they were off, obviously, a little bit, and now you done corrected it. So now they can go back to the drawing board and restart it. Like I said, it's multiple ways to skin a cat. But hey, I'm just here for the content. I don't know what these people are going on at this point, okay? But it was interesting for him to fill it in. I will say, being at the Gap was so different. It does feel like Straight Drop got himself connected to Juke on some hitter stuff, because the next day after he got in Juke's phone, he went to shoot Paper Route Woo. So I feel like you could believe that, you know, Govan was just trying to do the music, and, you know, the whole situation with Cornelius just was one of those things like, hold on. So if Cornelius came to Govan's house, Juke was there, and he mentioned Straight Drop, and Cornelius Smith knew who Straight Drop was, then how really did Cornelius Smith get introduced to Straight Drop? Because it sounded like they were already familiar with each other at that point. So if that's the case, then Juke could have put them together himself. I'm just saying, hey, the saga continues. Like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and pull up on your girl, Make It Truth. Catch you on the next one.
This is the weakest. Give a fuck about what they scream.
Holla!
Shout out Mickey. Mickey, you gonna be big. Like,
I'm trying to conquer the world, coming from where I come from. Hey, this your girl, Mickey Truth, #1 blogger in South Carolina.